Is riding. Gosh, what else? Guild Wars 2, Mass Effect. I played Koliak Trios. Been in a lot of episodes of Robot Chicken. Until the last group who was here, I did Elmer Fudd. I played Elmer Fudd in a wrap-up between him and Bugs Bunny about doing a parody of Eminem's 8 Mile. That was fun. And then Seth Green, who was the director, actually is a fine rapper. And he came into the booth and worked with me on my rapping skills. I'm a singer, and I do a lot of rock stuff. And I had the rhythm for the rap, but he really got into it with me. And he's a real actor's director. You might know him from, well, he played Dr. Evil's son in the Austin Powers movies. Austin Powers movie. Did he do two? Were there two Dr. Evil appearances or just one?
Two.
Dr. Evil did 2 appearances? Right. Scott. Make Daddy happy. And then his wife, Scott! He's like, whatever. And of course he's on Family Guy as the son, right? Okay, talk to him like this. And he actually explained the origins of that character. He said it kind of came from Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on itself, or puts the lotion in the basket. And he said he and his friends used to go around doing that. And then when he auditioned for Family Guy, he kind of thought using that in kind of a hybrid role with the character. And he incorporated that, and Seth MacFarlane loved it. There you go. So, that leads me to impressions. I've done a lot of impressions. I do a lot of impressions, and at some point I will say, go ahead and call out an impression, and I will do my best to provide you with that impression. It's the Celebrity Voiceover Challenge I like to give myself. So one of my first series I played Timon in the animated TV version of the Lion King's animated feature, The Lion King. And Nathan Lane originated the character Timon, and so I had to replace him in The Adventures of Timon and Pumbaa. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Thank you. Then I went on to play Johnny Quest in The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. Come on, Dad, we gotta go find Bandit. Forever finding Bandit. That was his only quest. I played Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, in the Marvel Comics animated series, The Fantastic Four, where I constantly, as the human fireball of flames would say, "Flame on!" And then I'd shoot up through the sky. Flame on has different meanings in different cities. West Hollywood and Los Angeles, California. Something else here. Who else did I play? Speed Racer, that was for a Geico commercial, that was kind of fun. Spider-Man and Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, which was the ultimate dream for me. I can just answer your question right up front. You know, what was your favorite role? I love them all, but I wanted to be Spider-Man as a kid, so getting to play Spidey was a dream come true. And then I played 3 Marvel villains, Abyss, Arcade, and Banshee. I played Henry, who was an Irishman, in No More Heroes, 1 and 2. And in the anime world, Haruka Sensei from Naruto, Carl the Phantom from Blood Plus, Victory, and Dr. Riddles from Zatchbell, Marcus Damon from Digimon Data Squad, and countless others. So that's it. That gives you a little bit of my background with what voices I've done over the last 20 years. There's other stuff coming up that I've done that I've signed non-disclosure agreements about. I can't talk about, but more to come. And most recently I did a parody of Tom Cruise and Aidan Quinn from, what's that show he does with Lucy Liu, with Sherlock, with the British actor who plays Holmes. Elementary. Yeah, so we did parodies of those guys on Mad, which is a Cartoon Network animated cartoon series. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, again, that's me in a nutshell. and this is me in a nutshell. So you throw out any questions you have, that's why I'm here, Q&A. And you can just ask for your seat, or...
I was going to say we could have them line up over here.
Or you could line up here. Do whatever you want. I'm happy, you know, I'm taking it anyway. That sounds wrong.
Oh yes. First of all, I saw you in the elevator and I had a minor spasm attack.
Thanks.
I'm
glad you're alive.
My question is, I saw you in a video with doing a radio play, and I saw you at Canterlot Gardens. My question is, it's not really about, you know, background, but what was your opinion when you were at Canterlot Gardens? So, you know, the movies and all that.
Canterlot Gardens in Ohio?
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
We didn't do the radio play there though, did we?
I believe it was. You were doing an episode of different voices.
Was it a Star Wars script?
No, it was one of the episodes of My Little Pony.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And I did different character voices and celebrity impressions.
Yeah. What was your opinion on the convention and the community?
Oh, I loved it. I had a great time. I wasn't asked back this year, so maybe they didn't like me. I'm sad. I'm broken up. It changes every year. But I'd love to go back. It was good people, good times. And I'm from Ohio. I'm a Cleveland boy. So that was nice to be back. But it was fun, yeah. What he's referring to is a number of us actors got up on a panel and we had scripts in front of us and we did it like, you know, like a radio play or a stage play. And we were reading through these scenes and then they would break it at certain times and they would have us do character voices that you know and celebrity impressions that you know. It was a lot of fun.
I'm not 100% sure if you're allowed to answer this, so if like you're not, then that's okay.
Okay.
But Kingdom Hearts 3 has been announced.
Yes, it has.
Yes, and if you can tell us, will you be reprising your role as Axel or Lee, you know, depending on whichever one he is?
If they ask me, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so new, I don't even know if there's a script yet.
Well, I know they changed their voice actors because they, I know if you compare the first to the second game, like, a lot of the voice actors are different for the characters, so I didn't know if like they were going to get you back or not.
Well, I mean, I've been the only Axel/Lee so far, so there shouldn't be any reason why they wouldn't ask me back. As long as he's in the script, then I should be able to work again and put bread on my table.
You're the only one.
Yes.
I'll listen for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm super nervous, and this is not
You look,
really...
she's super nervous, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, super nervous to save the day, in spite of her anxiety.
I'm Piper.
You are Piper.
But this is a lame question, but can you say something to me as Axel?
Sure, Piper. Piper, why don't you and I go out and get some sea salt ice cream? We'll just hang out, watch the sunset, talk about things like anxiety-ridden superheroes.
Thank you.
Hey, I was just wondering, is voice acting an in-demand job, and is it easy to get into, and how would I go about doing it?
No, long story. Yeah, it's very in demand. The short answer to get into it would be doing a proper and professional voiceover demo. And behind that would be doing acting classes. Improv helps, and of course specifically taking a voiceover workshop class or classes for commercial acting and animation. And yeah, I'd Google search in your area to see what classes are available. That's what I did. I started out in Cleveland, and then eventually I moved to LA, which is that's okay. He's got a party in his pants, everybody. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like, this is what makes me do.
My phone is only rung when I'm talking to people at a Q&A.
There you go. I think it's good luck. Yeah, I would Google search in your area if there are voice acting classes or somewhere nearby, and take those. And if you're really interested in acting, then, you know, like I said, do some improv, sketch comedy, take some acting, you know, 'cause that's what it's all about.
My question is how was it to be in the Mass Effect universe?
Well, it was lonely. I was in a booth by myself with the director from Canada. Well, she wasn't actually in the booth with me. She was in my headphones. And I had an engineer in Los Angeles. But being part of the universe is a cool thing because there's such a big following.
Could you do the voice of Goliath?
I can, but the weird thing is they affected my voice. So I believe my Goliath Trios voice is in here. And Father, don't die on me. Oh no, now I'm dying. This isn't going to end well.
Thank you.
Yes, my question is, oh, I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat. How did you
I'll
go?
be here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, that's really what I want to know. How did you start developing your voice and training it to sound different, and at what age? And what sparked your interest in doing voiceovers?
I began, as from the time I can remember when I was a kid. I specifically remember being 8 years old and doing impressions of impressionists' impressions that I watched on TV. And my buddy Billy Russ, who I've known since I was 3, and I still know today, which makes us 23. Thank you for believing in lies or miracles. He and I got together, and it's a true story. We would not only listen to his music in his mom and dad's basement, but they had a pool table and they had this really great bar, and we'd sit up at the bar and drink Coca-Colas, and we would have just pieces of paper, and we would write out lists of impressions. What's that?
I said, and you were 3.
No, we were 8.
Oh.
We were 3 when we met.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was preschool. But yeah, we were 8 at that time. Then again, at 3 we could have been, and I don't know. But I remember being 8 because it was 2nd grade, and I specifically remember doing impressions in school at that time. And then he went on to do morning announcements in high school. It was called Wildcat Bill. I went on to do 11 out of 12 plays in 4 years. And after that, he got into broadcasting after going to college. I was in radio, television, film, and theater. I had a rock band, did a video show, and then I moved out to Los Angeles, where I did everything from doing extra work in Guns N' Roses' November Rain video to being a production coordinator for CBS, and then eventually scoring a voice agent after taking classes. And it's 20 years later, and here we are. What was the question?
That covers it. Thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Thanks a little number, Bob.
Hang on a second, we got
I gotta check this thing out.
You just turn off out of nowhere.
I don't think so. Hey.
just want to see what it's shooting. Oh, there's a lot of this going, a lot of room here. Yeah, plenty of room. Maybe too much room. Okay.
Role or job?
That
I hear
would
something with Game
be,
Watchers now.
I'd have to check the Internet Movie Database, imdb.com, and see the year. But it was either the Fantastic Four. I mean, the first role, according to IMDb, I guested on an animated series called Aladdin. And I believe I played a prince on that, but I don't have my name listed. And then I started hitting in commercials. And back then, the big thing was Generation X. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Commercially, they were talking about Generation X. So I was kind of part of that. And what I did in terms of branding, which everybody's heard of nowadays, is I branded myself as the voice of Generation X. And that was pre-internet, that was pre-CDs and DVDs, and it was cassettes. So I had an audio cassette, my brother did the graphics, and it said, Quinton Flynn is the voice of Generation X. You know, so we sold that. And that really is where I took off commercially, and then I became a voice prototype, which means when somebody gets a script breakdown, when it says today, like, we need a Dennis Leary type, you know, or we need an Owen Wilson type, yeah. Back then it said we need a Quinton Flynn type, which was a real honor, except I was like, well, I'm him, you know. But in terms of animation, the Fantastic Four is the Human Torch. Probably doing Timon in the animated series of Timon and Pumbaa and Johnny Quest. That was the big break.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that was Erin Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Erin Rose. Give it up for her.
Yeah, I know working on working on video games and doing just voice acting for TV shows, things like that, they're totally different. Kind of a couple questions about that. Which one do you prefer doing?
Say it again?
Doing like voice acting for video games or animation. Which do you prefer?
I like them both for different reasons. I like the challenge of the video games because they're more intense. You know, there's a lot of room for interpretation, a lot of interacting between you and the director and the producer, especially when you do the Metal Gear series. And animation, the original animation that we do, they would say in the West, you know, where it starts with us, is great because you're working with a cast. So you get to work off of people like I'm working off you right now. And it's fun to banter back and forth, you know, even with the script, because sometimes you get to improvise a little bit, if they let you, you know. If they don't, that's okay. You know, they think, to hell with them if they don't. And give me another scotch. But yeah, I kind of prefer that because it's, you know, it's like theater or improv, which I love to do, where you get to interact. It's fun because something happens, you know. But by the same token, we come up with these amazing performances. I don't know how the directors do it because I've heard what Jesse McCartney has done as Roxas and me as Axel, and I've heard it play back, and it sounds like we're in the same scene, which we are. It sounds like recorded at the same time, same room. So kudos to the producers and the directors.
And then actually off that, do you have any ad-lib lines or things that had to get cut out that you want to share? From anything, really.
That could be anything with me. I usually, you know, I curse a lot. But I don't want to do that if there's anybody, you know, too young here. But then again, you've probably heard it all and probably said more than me. There's nothing in specific I can think of, but oftentimes I'll screw up a line. I'm not dyslexic, but sometimes I will, you know, invert words into sentences. And to me, in my head, it sounds completely normal. You know, like, he was going down the streetcar, fast came. The director's like, could you take that again? I said, yeah. He was going down the street, fast car came. She's like, you're missing a little bit there. I'm like, what's off? She said, you just said fast car came. I go, yeah. Oh, right. The car came fast. Okay, I need to add the. So yeah, that's kind of the most weird stuff that happens. Yeah. And again, lots of cursing, which I can't fucking say enough about. Jack Nicholson would say, that's fine work. Just make sure you take care of yourself. Wash your balls. And go to the Lakers game with me.
Whenever you were transitioning from regular riding on Metal Gear Solid 4 to riding on Revengeance, did you like or dislike whenever he was going like Jack the Ripper and like it's just kind of ridiculous though?
I loved it.
Did you love it? Was that like what was your favorite line off of it?
Well, all of a sudden I sound like Christopher Walken. Well, you know, the thing is, I can only remember what I did in like that. Reverse. I can only remember what I did in Rising Revengeance. I don't remember much about 4 because it's been a number of years. But I loved saying, now it's time for Jack to let her rip. That I enjoyed a lot. And somebody else pointed out that in Revengeance, Rising Revengeance, I got out of the car with a sombrero on. Like a ridiculous, gaudy sombrero on top of this cyborg ninja. And like, we're concerned about you. And like, my line was, don't worry, I'll blend in. You know, so the Mexicans around are gonna say, oh, amigo.